Hey Libra, Libra rising, it's Rhea with your monthly forecast for May 2024. Now, May is going to bring a new energy because we have Jupiter, the planet of abundance and expansion, moving signs in Gemini, and it's going to be impacting everyone, including you. And we're going to talk about that at the end of the video. But first, let's dive deep into Pluto, because Pluto on May the 2nd will be going retrograde in the sign of Aquarius at 2 degrees. And Pluto is a planet of transformation, and it's in your fifth house. And the fifth house is where the inner child within us lives, where our joyful energy lives. It's also where we find our creativity, our hobbies, leisure, pleasure. This also has to do with dating. So it's not going to be impacting everyone. Look at your chart and look at where Aquarius or even Leo or even Taurus and Scorpio, if you have any planets from 0 to 2 degrees in those signs, then this Pluto energy is definitely going to be impacting you. And with it being retrograde, it's all about reflecting and reevaluating and going over certain things. So maybe you're going over your creative hobbies or your self-expression or just your creativity overall, and you want to dive deeper and express yourself on just another level, but you're going back and forth and experimenting and exploring. Or maybe there's somebody in your life that is very karmic that you're not in a relationship with, but there is a romantic attraction there, and they're very Plutonian, and there's some karma there that you have to kind of go over as well. So it just depends on your individual chart. I know relationships are huge for you because we have the nodes in Libra and Aries, and we've just had the eclipse. So of course, many of you are going through a relationship changes. And with Mars in your seventh house of relationships, there can also be confrontation or even quarrels during this month. So you got to be mindful of that. Mars is about our temperament. With it being in the seventh house, it can definitely be more argumentative or just take out its anger or any frustrations that have been brewing up, where it just releases it all onto somebody else, or you can have someone in your life that is the embodiment of Mars. So that's something to be careful with this month. But relationships are still going to continue in your life. Like whatever theme you're going through, whatever life experience you're going through, whatever cycle you're in, like of course it's going to be individual to everyone. But overall, for Libras, Libra dominance, relationships are huge, but also who you are as an individual. And then finding the balance between your identity with just when you're alone and by yourself, and then who you become when you're in a relationship. Like that's what's been so profound for you. On May the 7th, we have a new moon in Taurus at 18 degrees, which will be in your 8th house. The 8th house rules over shared finances, resources, intimacy, and transformation. New moons are about new beginnings and new cycles and new chapters. And we're going to have the sun, the moon, Jupiter, Venus, and Uranus all in your 8th house. So there's so much activity, so much energy and stamina and momentum in this area of life. So there can definitely be some developments or new opportunities or something changes in this area of life, whether that's through finances or resources or even a relationship that is extremely karmic, because the seventh house is a surface level of relationships and then partnerships. But when we get into the 8th house, that's just like the soul aspect of relationships. This could also impact just you as a person and your psyche and your spiritual journey, and just finding yourself being in a very spiritual power, being in a very spiritually empowered position. I feel like I just had like a moment where I lost consciousness. That's what I felt for a moment. But yeah, a lot of developments occurring for you in this area of life. So get ready, because you can definitely expect some changes. May the 15th, Mercury will enter Taurus, moving into your 8th house as well. So again, emphasizing on finances, resources, much more karmic relationships, and just your personal sense of spirituality and transformation. And this could definitely have to do with like negotiating or going over like paperwork of some sort, or this could also have to do with just you mentally, psychologically just shifting and transforming as well. May the 20th, the sun enters Gemini, which will enter your 9th house. 9th house rolls over travel, higher learning, higher education, philosophy, spirituality. So during this time, there's a lot of energy here as well. And this area of life is going to be very, very profound, because we're going to have a full moon on May the 23rd. The sun will be in your 9th house. The moon will be in your 3rd house in the sign of Sagittarius at 2 degrees. So When it comes to travel and learning and communication, there could be a change there. So full moons are about letting go and endings. That could be something that is released from your life. That could be like just a mindset, a belief, or maybe you're traveling, made plans to travel somewhere and you just pull back, or something happens where you're not able to go on that trip, or because full moons are about the intensity and the energy just brewing up and coming to its culmination point, which can manifest in something new, something manifesting in your life. So maybe you have been working hard to go somewhere, or you've been going back and forth just with yourself about, should I go here, should I not, should I do this, should I not. This could have to do with travel, of course, but also like learning something new, or even like your spiritual beliefs and philosophies. So there could also be something that develops or occurs in your life that is very profound for you, especially if you have any planets in Sagittarius or Gemini from 0 to 2 degrees. That's going to be very profound or just close by, but it's also making a positive aspect to Pluto, which is in your 5th house. So your creativity, or even just like this dating relationship situation you may be in, because that won't apply to everyone, could be very profound. So get ready, because the intensity is going to be quite fiery, especially because we're going to have Jupiter, Venus, and Neptune all at 29 degrees. We're also going to have the North Node and Mars in a conjunction. So that's about the spiritual warrior and the life path that you're on, and how you're moving forward in life. So yeah, definitely a lot of intensity brewing up. On the same day, Venus will also move into Gemini, which means it'll move into your 9th house. This is where you can find a lot of pleasure, a lot of just feeling good about yourself. This may be through traveling, like you want to get away, you want to learn something, and you just feel so good about it. And this energy, like I said, is going to continue and be so profound, because at the end of the month, May the 25th, Jupiter enters Gemini, which means it enters your 9th house. Now, this is great for when it comes to expanding your mind, when it comes to evolving, when it comes to your philosophies and your beliefs, learning something new. This could have to do with learning like astrology. I find that a lot of people, when they go through this transit or have this transit natally, or should I say this position placement, or even when people have like the moon, I meet a lot of people like through astrology readings who have the moon in the 9th house. Like they have like this fascination with astrology, or it makes them feel just so good and they're just so interested in it. So that could happen for you as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just astrology. It could just be anything that you're interested in that expands your mind. Because Jupiter is in Gemini. Gemini is about learning absolutely everything it can. So you're definitely going to be expanding, and you can expect a lot of traveling as well. Like if you feel like during the full moon, like you weren't able to go to a certain place that you had planned or hoped to go, don't worry, because with Jupiter in the 9th house, you can definitely expect a lot of traveling and just opening your mind to just new heights. So an exciting time for you. Get ready to open up your crown chakra. Get ready for a lot of deja vu as well, because the world is going to be your oyster. So Libra rising, I hope you have an incredible month. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up so I know you liked it. Comment down below, subscribe. You can connect with me on TikTok at Astrology, and also for one-to-one readings or emailed readings, you can check out my booking website in the description box, and I'll see you very soon. Lots of love.